Teen Gamer here, and I have to make this video while I still can, and also since I did promise you guys a showcase video, but Chongyun's banner is still out, so I have to make this video while I still can. So here it is, the Xianyun showcase video. Yes, so if you don't know how my showcase videos are structured, I basically just show my kit, and then showcase her teams, and then do some boss runs, and then afterwards I'll just give my final thoughts, opinions, and also give an overview of the character. So yes, but since this video is probably going to be uploaded after the Chongyun banner is dropped, basically when Miko and Zhao are in the game, at least you'll get insight onto what Chongyun can do if you do have her. And if you don't have her, you could summon her in the future. So yeah, keep that in mind. But anyways, without any further ado, let's just go to the Chongyun showcase. Starting with her build. So here is Chongyun. So she's actually pretty easy to build, to be honest. Because all you need is attack and energy recharge. That is all you need. There is no other stats you need to give her except for attack and energy recharge, because her energy recharge is for her burst, which is her main kit, her bread and butter, and her attack is basically on scaling because she scales off of attack. She scales her healing off of attack, she scales her plunging damage off her attack, she scales her plunging damage bonus for other party members based on her attack. So the only logical conclusion is that you build her with attack and energy recharge. Unless you are building a DPS Chongyun, then ignore my advice and just run crit rate, crit damage. So yeah. But, Chongyun is mainly here for support purposes for those plunging attack characters. Or you can make your own characters into plunging attack gods because of Chongyun. You'll see what I mean when I showcase the teams. But, here is my Chongyun build. See here, she almost has 3,000 attack. I'm pretty sure if I ascend her one more level, I should get more attack. Yeah, so she would be at 3k attack if I do ascend her. Energy recharge is at 212. That's all she needs. She needs 200% elemental recharge or energy recharge to get her burst back efficiently. So yeah, that is all you need on your Chongyun, and then she's able to wreak havoc and support her party members. So yeah, she's actually pretty easy to build. As for weapon, I have Skyward Atlas. This is her second best weapon. Her best weapon is obviously her fan, which is her main catalyst weapon. You can also run other attack percent catalyst as well. That is basically her best weapon, because she scales off of attack. The more attack you have, the higher her scaling becomes. So that is why I ran the Skyward Atlas. The passive here sucks for Chongyun, but because it has high attack percent, I have to give it to her because she scales off of attack. So basically, you just bring an attack percent catalyst to her and she works fine. If you don't have that, then you can run the Favonius Codex, which is the catalyst energy recharge catalyst, and you could just run an attack percent artifact on Sands. So yeah, you could just run attack percent Sands with energy recharge catalyst, or you could do energy recharge Sands with a catalyst with attack percent. It really doesn't matter what you choose as long as you balance out the attack percent and then the energy recharge. That's all you need to do because she's actually pretty simple to build. As for artifacts, I have Viridescent Venerer. So her artifact set actually matters on what teams you actually run her on. So for Viridescent, it's for reaction teams like Gaming, Diluc, Ayaka, Hu Tao, basically anyone who needs reactions to do the damage. So Viridescent is there for that. If you are running a non-reaction team, so basically Zhao, that is the main person who does not need reactions to do damage, then you run Songs of Days Past. So yeah, it's either you run Song for Zhao or Viridescent for reaction-based teams. But since I don't have Zhao in my roster, and I do use a lot of reactions, I ran Viridescent instead. But it would be different for you. If you do have Zhao, then run Songs. If you don't like to run Zhao, then you could run Viridescent. Or if you use both, then you could just farm for both sets. But Viridescent is what I stick with because I don't have Zhao, and plus I use reaction-based teams all the time. So yeah. As for constellations, I have her at C0. She doesn't need constellations to be good because her main kit and support is based off her Q. She doesn't really need that much help anyways on constellations. So that's the reason why I don't opt for constellations, because she doesn't really need it because she is a support. And as for talents, I have 666. She is minimally built, basically. I only leveled her up with the silver talents. I didn't level her up with the gold talents yet. So yeah. Her main bread and butter, of course, is her burst. So I am going to be leveling this up in the future because I love using her team. Her team is actually pretty good, to be honest. So yeah. There is Chongyun, pretty cool support, but that is just the base surface. That is just the surface level of Chongyun. We have to actually put it in practice. And what better way to put it in practice than to showcase her in teams? So I have a handful of teams to pick from, but I have to showcase my roster first, so let's just jump to Spiral Abyss. Alright, so here we are in Spiral Abyss. The reason why I want to showcase my roster is because I have to show proof that I don't have Zhao. So I'm going to scroll down for you guys just to make sure. And yeah, as you see here, no Zhao. So I can't showcase Chongyun with Zhao, even though that is mainly the reason why you want to run Chongyun, besides, well, certain other characters. But Zhao is the main DPS in the plunging aspect, because he is a plunge DPS. But I don't have Zhao, so I can't showcase him. So I can't showcase Xianyun Zhao, sadly. Sorry guys, I can't do that. And I also can't summon for Zhao anyway, because there are other future characters that are coming in the Fontaine update, and I have to save my primos for. I am talking to you, Chiori. So yeah. But anyways, now it's time to actually showcase some teams. And since I can't showcase Zhao, I'll showcase the other teams. So yeah. One of the teams that is mainly commonly run is Gaming Plunge, or aka Gaming Hyper Carry, or if you want to be technical, Xianyun Vaporize. So yeah, Gaming is a goat. He is really busted. You'll see why in a minute. But I'll just put Nahida in the back slot right there. So you'll see why this team is actually pretty busted and why Gaming is not to be slept on. So I'm gonna be choosing this passive because, well, it doesn't affect my team that much. So yeah, I could showcase my team with raw stats. So I'm gonna be doing the Farina thing first, and then let's do this, and then do Chongyun, and then let's do the burst. As you see there, lots of damage, 100k on plunge. I mean, you're seeing this, right? Look at how broken that is. And if you did see my other Spiral Abyss video, the one where I beat the floor with the Gaming plunging team, he's actually really busted. He was able to do 160k on plunge. But yeah, as you see there, really busted team. So yeah, Chongyun makes any plunging team work, especially boosting up the characters that benefit from plunge attacks. So yeah, that's basically it. But anyways, now it's time to showcase the other characters on other teams too. And but better way than this Dragon Strike man himself, Diluc, who has one of the highest plunging attack damages in the game. Alright, so here we are with the Diluc plunging team, or another Xianyun Vaporize team. But I'll just showcase the characters as if they're just separate characters in the showcase anyway, because why not? But as you see here, look at that. Look at that damage. And he's minimally built, by the way, my Diluc. Yeah, but that damage is absolutely ridiculous. I'm gonna be doing his burst again. Yeah, there we go. As you see there, I mean, I didn't showcase that much plunging damage, but he's able to do at least 100k on plunge if I did do my setup correctly with my E's with the Crimson Witch set. But yeah, that's basically it for the Diluc plunging team. But now it's time to showcase another vaporized team and also showcase a number of characters who actually benefit from Chongyun. It's not just claymores, by the way, because, well, claymores have the highest plunging damage because, well, they are claymores, obviously. But there are some characters that can actually benefit from Chongyun as well, besides claymores. So here is one of them. Alright, so here's the last vaporized team I'm going to be showcasing, and that is Hu Tao. Yes, Hu Tao actually has kind of a good plunge attack, to be honest. But mainly it's the same concept as last time. You just do Xianyun Burst to basically set up the plunging attack, Madness. And then, yeah, that's basically it. I mean, look at this. 100k on Plunge. 100k. 165k. Yeah, she's absolutely... Hu Tao's absolutely ridiculous with Xianyun support, as you see there. Like, holy crap. That's actually pretty good. So, yeah. Well, there is Hu Tao with Xianyun. I'm gonna go back to Catalyst or Claymore characters for a bit because I have to showcase how their damage modifiers are pretty high. So I'm gonna be showcasing a handful of Claymore users to basically showcase that they do a ton of damage. So yeah, I am gonna be talking about mainly the Claymore characters that infuse their weapon with elements. So I'm going to be showcasing those first, and then I'm going to be showcasing the oddball characters, basically the characters that kind of can benefit from Chongyun, like Hu Tao. So yeah. But anyways, it's time to cut to the Claymore users. So let's start off with the first one that can benefit from Chongyun. So here is one of the Claymore characters that can benefit from Chongyun support. And that is, well, the Eula Plunge team. And because Eula has really high damage output because she is a Claymore user. As you see there, 43k. By the way, she is minimally built, so you see why her numbers are pretty low. But I'm going to be doing this so I can do Super Conduct so she's able to get all of her things in. Alright, so let's do that. Let's do this. And then let's do a Yaimiko. And then let's just do Plunge to finish things off. Yeah, 50k per hit. Pretty consistent all around. If you built your Eula with like max investment, then I'm pretty sure she's able to do way more damage than this. Definitely. So yeah. I'm gonna be doing this again. And we're just gonna be doing more plunging attacks. Yeah, but there you go. There is Eula. Yeah, as I said before, mine is minimally built. So if you build her properly and if you max invest in her, she's able to do wonders for your team. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to move on to the next Claymore character I will showcase. Here's another Claymore that can benefit from this, and that is Chongyun. Since Chongyun is able to give himself a Cryo application because of his E, he's able to do Cryo plunge attacks. As you see here. Look at that damage. And he's minimally built too, by the way. I didn't give him that much investment. And by minimally built, I mean like at least around 100k crit damage with like 40% crit rate, and he has to fish, by the way. So yeah, really, he's actually minimally built. But as you see there, he's able to do at least 30k per hit. Not bad. And that's without reactions too. So yeah, he's actually pretty good. I'm gonna be finishing this off here. And there we go. So yeah, again, if you maximize your builds, then you're able to do big damage. That is the lesson here today. But I just want to showcase the, what teams that you can run Chongyun on. So yeah. But anyways, there is Chongyun. He actually is pretty good with Chongyun. So yeah, don't sleep on him. He can perform really well as long as you properly build him. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to move on to the next Claymore character to showcase. Alright, so here we are with another Claymore user, Kaveh. Yes, he is entirely slept on, but he's actually a pretty good actual like main Dendro DPS because of how much he's able to do. I'm gonna be using his burst here because his burst actually gives him Dendro application, as you see here, with the damage he's able to do. Look at that, 20k on hit. He's actually pretty good. Yeah, look at that damage. Alright, let's just tag him with Nahida. Alright. And then let's do this, and then let's get everyone up actually. Alright. There we go. And then we can have Kaveh wreak havoc here with his burst. And yeah, as you see here, he's able to do at least some damage. Look at that. And of course, if you fully build him, he's able to do a ton of damage too. Give him a lot of elemental mastery, give him a lot of crit damage, and he's able to perform fine. So yeah. Well, anyways, there is Kaveh. Pretty cool. And I want to showcase one more Claymore character before we get on to the wacky stuff. So yeah. But anyways, here is the last Claymore character I'm gonna be showcasing. Did you know that Navia could also work on this team? Yeah, she's able to. At least barely able to. Because, well, at least her burst is able to give her the crystallized stack she needs. And plus with her E, she's able to get, well, geo damage. And as you see here, the damage is really high. So yeah, as long as you build your Navia properly, which I did, so you're able to see big damage right here as soon as I use an E. So I'll use an E right here, and then I can just jump and do plunge. There you go. Big damage. So yeah, Navia actually performs really well with plunge. Who would have thought? So yeah. Well, anyways, that is it for the Claymore characters. I'm gonna be showcasing off at least 4 other characters that work, and then showcase off one more team, which is the free-to-play team. So yeah, well, anyways, time to showcase those 3 weird characters, and I'm starting now. So I already showcased Sword, Pole Arm, and Claymore, so it's only right for me to choose Sword. So yeah, Ayaka, her main purpose is to basically get herself the Cryo application on her sword, and then when she's able to do that, she's able to do Cryo plunge attacks. As you see here, look at that. I think you're only able to pull off 3 before you have to dash again, so keep that in mind when you are playing Ayaka. So after the 3rd, you have to go back to dashing. Because in order to get her cryo application to work, you have to dash and then you can do the attack. But as you see there, she actually performs really well. Again, any character can work well with Xianyun as long as they're able to do enough damage and also able to apply the element themselves. But there are a couple of exceptions like Fremine and Eula. But yeah, as you see there, Chongyun works pretty well even with weird characters that need to do specific things to trigger their application. So yeah, but anyways, now it's time to showcase the second weird character on the roster that can work with Chongyun. Well, here we are with a actual double whammy. So it's not just one character, it's 2 characters. So actually, Catalyst characters can work really well on plunging teams because, well, they have only one application and it's their main element. And besides, they always keep it anyway because they are catalysts. But other than that, Raiden also works too because of her burst, giving herself electro application. You'll see what I mean once we test it out. But I'm gonna be doing a Chongyun right here. I'm gonna be doing the Hida first, but as you see here, look at that. Look at that damage. And then we'll do Raiden's next. And look at that. Look at that damage. Overload or any damage you want. As you see there, look at that. It's actually pretty good. Chongyun works really well with these characters. I'm going to be doing Nahida again. But yeah, look at that. That damage is insane. But yeah, as you see there, they both work really well with Xianyun. Because Xianyun's plunging attack damage is through the roof. It's actually ridiculous. Especially if you do have her weapon, it just skyrockets. It's actually that good. So yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna be showcasing one more team, and then I'm gonna be showcasing the free-to-play team, and then we can fight some bosses after. So yeah, here is one more team for you guys. So what better way to showcase Chongyun than actually making her the main DPS? I know I did showcase my build before, and she is not a DPS, but she's still really good regardless because of how much, and I mean it, how much her damage output really is because of her own buffs. And you'll see what I mean. So let's do E. Look at that. Look at that damage. It's actually busted. 43k! Yeah, she's busted. She doesn't have crit damage on her, and she's able to do 44k. Yeah, actually really busted. As you see there. But anyways, there it is. There is the last team I'll showcase. But now it's time to showcase, well, I did lie. This is the final team I'll showcase. And that is the free-to-play team for those free-to-play players out there. So here is the free-to-play team. So Gaming is here because, well, if you did pull on Xianyun's banner, at least you'll have one copy of Gaming. If you don't, then he's available in the Lantern Right shop, so you can just grab him there. Also, Xingqiu is available in the shop as well for your free Lantern Right 4-star. He is also available in the shop as well as a monthly rotation, so you can just get Xingqiu there. Same with Bennett. Bennett is commonly featured in a bunch of banners. Same with Xingqiu. And Bennett is also in the shop too, so you can just buy him in the shop. He's also monthly rotated as well. So yeah, all of these three characters are basically free-to-play friendly. Gaming is, well, you can get him for free. Xingqiu, you can get him for free. And Bennett, you can get him in the shop, and you can commonly get him in other banners as well. So yeah. So, it's time to showcase this team off, and it's actually pretty busted. You'll see here. Xingqiu is here because, well, he also has interruption resistance, which is actually pretty good. So you don't get interrupted on your plunging attacks. But you can also mix in a couple normal attacks for Xingqiu, as you see there, to wait until your lion comes back before you do plunging attacks. But yeah, there you go. Actually pretty good team. Let's set up the combo again, and then let's do this again. And then, well, this is it, the final set of enemies. But yeah, as you can see here, tons of damage right there. Bam! So yeah, there we go. There is the free-to-play team. Actually performs really solid. So yeah. Well, now it's time to actually showcase Xianyun and a bunch of bosses. So yeah. Well, anyways, let's go to the Liwe bosses and showcase her there. Alright, so here we are in the Golden House, aka the Child Domain. I am going to be showcasing teams that I haven't showcased yet. So now it's time to actually perfectly show you guys just how much power Xianyun has on support. So first off, I'm going to be choosing off characters that I haven't showcased in a long time. So Klee is one of them. We can support Klee even further with Farina for the Vaporize reactions. And then we're going to be putting even more healing on top of that with Bennett. So yeah, this is going to be the team I'm going to be running, which is pretty standard Vaporize team. Klee is actually pretty decent on damage purposes, so she doesn't really need that much help. Xianyun's just here to basically showcase how much power a catalyst is able to do. So let's just get her particles up by normal attacking. I'm just waiting for E to pop up. So there we go. I think that should get her burst right there. Alright. Now it's time for Child's second phase. Alright. let's do Farina E. We can get her burst back. Alright, let's do this. Alright, now it's time for Klee damage time. So yeah, 40k right there, as you see there. As you see there, Xianyun busted. So yeah, there is Klee with Xianyun, as you see there. Pretty busted in general. I mean, she's able to support everyone. So yeah. Well, there is one of the teams that works really well with Xianyun. But now it's time to go to Azhdaha and showcase another team. So let's just go there. Alright, so here we are in the Azhdaha domain. So the team I'm going to be running this time is a Archon team. Archon plus Adepti. So yeah, as you see here, we got the full roster. We got Raiden, we got Nahida, we got Zhongli. Basically, some of the best characters in the game. And we're going to be beating up Azhdaha. So here we go. So, this guy has 3 phases if you haven't fought this guy already. But, mainly you just want to burst him down and then get him to his other phases. He does a lot of damage, and he also needs shield to survive some of his mechanics. He does have pretty weird mechanics where he needs to be in a certain basically a certain amount of HP to basically get to another phase. He also has another mechanic where if he does hit you with an elemental attack, he's able to put a sigil on you, which is able to do damage. So yeah, you mainly want to watch out for that. That's why I brought Zhongli for the shields, because the only way to protect yourself against those is if you have a shield character with you. So yeah. I am going to be going for Raiden burst right here so I can get Xianyun burst back. So let's just do that. I think he's down, so now we can just run away. I think this won't hit me. I think the final hit won't hit me, but just in case, I am going to be putting up the shield. Yeah, there we go. Alright, his final phase, which is the Cryo phase. The Cryo phase, in my opinion, is the most annoying phase because you're forced to run. You can't attack its tail that often. You'll see what I mean. Let's tag him for a bit. But yeah, as you see here, he's going to be doing like 2 patterns and he's able to attack you. So yeah, look, you get no breaks. No breaks. You have to dash. You have to dash like a madman. Alright, I think that's it. That's his last attack pattern. Alright, so let's set up the plunging attack for Raiden. So we're gonna be aiming away on purpose. Alright, and let's do plunge. There we go. Easy peasy. So yeah, there is Azhdaha done. Pretty cool that the Archon team works really well with Xianyun. So yeah. But now it's time to actually showcase max damage output. And since Chongyun is a support for me, she's not able to do a ton of damage. So, well, I will showcase her damage on a weak boss because, well, she doesn't do that much damage. So, yeah. So, I'm going to be going for the Cryo Regisvine in this video. So, let's just go to him. And let's close off the video. Alright, so here we are with the Cryo Regisvine. So the reason why I did not opt to choose Raiden Shogun is because we're going to be there for way too long. And besides, that's for max damage output. And since Chongyun is not a DPS, or at least I haven't built her as a DPS, I have to showcase her here. So yeah, sadly you won't be able to see me fight Raiden for like the bajillionth time. But hopefully this will be satisfactory enough. So yeah. Well, anyways, here's the team I'm going to be using for the max damage showcase. As you see here, we have Xianyun, who is going to be the main damage dealer. We have Farina here, who is C2, as you see here, with weapon. And also with 10-10 talent. So she's able to buff up the team. We have Zhongling here, who mainly is there for the pyro support. With the global attack with the pepper, so she's able to give you plus 10% attack, which is pretty cool. And we also have Bennett right here, your boy Bennett with Noblesse, C1, 13 talent. So yeah. So we have the full roster here. So I'm just gonna be going for the Farina here so we can drain our HP as fast as possible. Hopefully she doesn't deal as much damage. I'm gonna be doing... Yeah. Alright. Now it's time to use Xianyun. Yeah, there we go. There's your damage output. But yeah. Again, she's not a main DPS, so I just wanted to showcase that she's able to at least take out some bosses. So yeah. But there it is. There is your max damage output for Xianyun. But if you already saw in the Spiral Abyss showcase with Xianyun as the main DPS, she's able to do around 50k with my build. So yeah. But I just wanted to showcase it again, showcasing that she's able to at least beat several weak bosses. So yeah. But anyways, now it's time to actually give her her overview, and I'll give my final thoughts on the character as well. So let's just go over that. So here is Xianyun, or what people most commonly known her as is Cloud Retainer. So yeah. So I'm gonna be going over her kit as well as go over her constellations and then give my final thoughts on the character. So without any further ado, let's just get to it. So here are her talents. So her normal attack, Word of Wind and Flower, which basically just deals 4 normal attacks. She's able to do charge attacks and plunging attacks. So yeah, you're basically your main catalyst normal attack. Of course, if you want to make her a plunging DPS, of course level this up to the max. It is definitely worth it if you are running a main DPS Xianyun. As for her E, White Clouds at Dawn, she's able to do 3 jumps. Yeah, 3 jumps, which do animal damage, by the way. Yes, her jumps actually do animal damage. If you do left click at any time, she's able to go to Cloud Transmogrification, aka turning into Cloud Retainer. When she does that, she's able to do big AoE plunging damage, which is pretty cool. So yeah, you can do the max of 3 if you want, or you can do 1 or 2. It doesn't really matter as long as you're able to do her E, and it's fine. So yeah. Of course, there is a constellation that boosts how much uses that you have on White Clouds at Dawn, but mainly your main use of this is to give yourself some particles. But in the DPS sense, this is her main damage dealing move. So yeah. And here is her burst, Stars Gather at Dusk, which is her main bread and butter burst, where she is able to do animal damage based off of Xianyun's attack, and also she's able to heal based off her attack as well. So when you use her Q, she's able to heal everyone based off her attack. As I mentioned before, their jump attack or their jump height gets increased, and their punching attacks will deal more damage and also consume a stack of Adeptal Assistance. By the way, you start with 8, so you're able to do 8 plunging attacks, which is pretty cool. So yeah, 8 plunging attacks, and it lasts a really long time, as you see here, with 16 seconds of duration. So yeah, pretty cool with a 2-second downtime and an energy cost of 70. So basically, you want to give her ER and then max attack to basically fuel her burst healing and damage capabilities. So yeah, Stars Gather at Dusk is mainly the talent you want to level up first, because that is what her bread and butter is to heal and give party members plunging attacks. And here is one of her passive talents, her first one, Gale Feather Pursuit. So when you hit someone with White Clouds at Dawn, which is basically her E, she's able to grant party members for 20 seconds plunge attack crit rate. So yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, actually it's really busted. So yeah, you can do this by up to 4 stacks, by the way. So it is really good. So the more ease you have, the higher damage you're able to do for 20 seconds. So yeah, as you see here, you get 4, 6, 8, or 10, and you get a max of 4 stacks, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this is a really good talent, especially since you're going to be using her E most of the time to give her particles. And you're just able to increase the crit rate on one of your party members, meaning that they're able to do more crit damage. So yeah, it is really cool. It is definitely a really good talent on Xianyun. And next up is her second passive talent, which is considered the Adeptus in her realm. So while your Q is up and you have Adeptal stacks, you're able to do damage on 200% of Xianyun's attack. So yeah, you're able to do a attack shockwave with max attack on Xianyun. So that's also a reason why you should build Xianyun with max attack, so she's able to do at least some damage. And you're also able to do 9,000 that way. So yeah, pretty cool. So not only are you doing more plunging damage, she's also able to do plunging damage on the side as well, based off her attack. So think of it as a secondary attack that she's able to do. So yeah, it is pretty cool. So yeah, you're able to do more damage on Xianyun's Q. So yeah, so basically, you're able to do at least 9k more damage on your Q, which is pretty nice. And that is not considering her weapon either, which also boosts plunging attack damage. So yeah, really good passive talent. Definitely one of her main uses as well. And then next up, we have her overworld passive talent, which is Crane Form, which is able to boost your gliding speed by 15%, which is pretty nice. So if you want to get around the world faster, and if you want to glide faster, as Venti would say, wouldn't gliding be faster, then use Crane Form and put Xianyun on your team to have a speedy glide in the overworld. So yeah, that is basically it for the talents, and now it's time to go over her constellations, which are actually pretty interesting, because one of her constellations actually makes her a main DPS, surprisingly. So yeah, well, let's just go over them, shall we? So her first constellation is Purifying Wind, which basically gains 1 additional charge on her E, which is pretty nice. It means that you're able to do her E twice, able to basically proc this twice, which is pretty nice. Next up is C2, which basically increases the attack of E at 20%, and also you're able to basically increase the shockwave damage by 400%, and you're able to do 18k instead. So basically what this means is that this talent changes. Yeah, this talent changes from 9k to 18k, and also increases from 200% to, let's see, to 400%. So yeah, actually really busted. And you also get a increased 20% attack for 15 seconds, which is pretty nice. So yeah, C2 definitely elevates her really far. So yeah, definitely a really good constellation. As for C3, Creations of Star and Moon, she's able to increase her stars gather at dust by 3, which also increases her constellation to Aloof from the World. So yeah, really good, because, well, stars gathered dust will basically be at 13. So yeah. And constellation 4, Mystery Millet Gourmet. So when you use E, you basically heal all party members by 50, 80, or 150% of Xianyun's attack, which is really good. And also, it is by 1, 2, or 3 times. So basically, when you mash E, you're able to jump 3 times. So if you do the max of 3 jumps, you're able to heal for 150%, which is pretty good. So yeah, actually really busted. So you're able to heal your party members, which is pretty nice. It means that they won't die. As for Constellation 5, we have Astride Rose-Colored Clouds, which basically increases her E by 3 levels. Pretty cool. And then last but not least, we have Constellation 6. They call her Cloud Retainer, which basically transforms Xianyun into a DPS. So, when you use Clouds at dawn, and it basically scales off of how many jumps you do, your crit damage will be increased by 15, 35, or 70. So, mainly you want to use all 3 of her jumps to do 70% crit damage, which is pretty good. And also, within 60 seconds after using her Q, you will not get cooldown. Yeah, there is no cooldown. No cooldown. And also, it gets cancelled after 8 times, which is basically the main limiter on Stars Gathered Dust. As you see here, 8 Adeptal Assistants. And here it's 8 times. So yeah, pretty good. So you're basically able to spam E as much as you want. So that means that Cloud Retainer will become a main DPS with this constellation. So yeah, it is a weird trend actually, where there are supports in the game that become DPSs because of their constellation, like Yelan. Yelan becomes a DPS when she reaches C6, where she's able to use charge attack, machine gun, normal attacks. Same with other characters as well that become DPSs on C6, like Kazuha, where he's able to do normal attack Animo application. So yeah, Cloud Retainer is just one of those characters where with C6 she's able to become a main DPS. Same with Furina. Furina C6, she gets Hydro application on her normal attacks. So yeah, it's just one of those constellations that basically revolve around their kit, and because of that, they become a main DPS because of the amount of buffs they get on their constellation. So yeah. But basically that is it for Chongyun. And what is my final verdict on her? She is really busted. Yeah. Do not sleep on this character. This character is actually pretty good. Able to make plunging characters work and able to make some redundant characters actually pretty good because of the plunging attack damage she's able to provide for those characters. So yeah, but there it is. As for the new meta for plunging attacks, I say it's on the horizon because Chongyun just makes plunging teams work so well, as you saw there. She's able to give off 160k damage, or if you basically min-max everything, able to do at least 200k or 300k per plunging attack. It's actually really insane. So, in my opinion, Chongyun is one of the best characters in the game, one of the best animal supports, and also, no contest, the best plunging support in the entire game, obviously. So yeah. Well, anyways, if you guys like this showcase video, be sure to leave a like down below. And also, if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to not miss out on a single upload that I do on the channel. Any amount of support is greatly appreciated. Any like, any subscription will basically fuel my passion on making videos. I love making genshin videos, and you guys supporting me is such a great honor. So thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. And also comment down below, what do you think of Chongyun? You think she's good? You think she's bad? What do you think about her teams? She's able to be ran on any team. So what are your guys' opinions on the teams? And also, what other combinations Chongyun can be run on certain comps? Also, what do you think of the new plunging meta? You think it's good? You think it's bad? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to join you guys in the discussion in the comments. And as always, thank you guys for watching this showcase video, and I'll see you guys in the next Genshin video.